I beat the AI. Have you been demonetized because of reused content? If you follow my steps to the letter, I guarantee you, you will be remonetized again. I'm making this video by popular request, ahead of what I had planned, because as some of you will know, I was remonetized after having received a reused content sudden abrupt warning. Now I'll make this video in two parts because for me there ended up being two issues. So I'll deal with exactly what reused content really means, and I found out the hard way. And in the latter half of the video I'll talk about the other problem. But I recommend you watch the whole thing through because one does kind of interconnect with another. So the first thing you need to do is not delete any of your videos. I know after I struck the problem I went and searched a lot of YouTube videos. Some people were saying delete all of your content. Carol. No, don't do that. Now I really deep dived into all of the latest YouTube guides, and of course I thought, well, yeah, this is really confusing, as I'm sure you know too if you're in the same position. So it turns out, by my best estimation, reused content doesn't especially apply to your own content, and you've used clips of it in your own videos at a later date, because I've done that heaps of times. And I thought, no way am I going to get rid of all my videos. Now when I come to the second part about YouTube not being able to work out what sort of channel I am, it will tie into this, but I'll skip to that bit first. My YouTube friend Alan Spicer, I had a phone chat with him about this soon after it happened. And I'll get to what he said shortly, but what he did say made me start thinking, you know what? YouTube pays a month behind, as you guys that have been monetized know. So I thought, well, they can't possibly, no matter whatever AI technology they have, scan through every video that everyone has. And I thought, I bet they probably only look at your most recent month. And that's what I ended up doing. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't expect this would work, but I held out hope. So I went to my top performing videos for the last month, which you can see in YouTube Studio. If you're not using YouTube Studio, you really have to get into it. I'm not going to show you anything about it at the moment because it's too complex. If you're doing this on the phone, I guess you could do what I'm going to tell you, but it will be a lot more difficult. So when I look through the analytics of the most viewed for the month videos, I looked very carefully, and you have to be honest with yourself about this. I didn't realize at first how many, over 17 years, that I did have, essentially that was other people's content, even though I re-edited it. Now of the top performing ones of those, what I did was set those to private. Okay, I didn't delete them. And I'll tell you another good reason not to delete. When you delete anything off your channel, all the accrued watch time gets wiped. So suddenly you'll find you've got less and less watch time. And of course you do need to still meet the minimum 4,000 hours criteria. So go there, set those to private, any that you think are not totally your own content. And don't jump into reapplying straight away. I held off for what ended up being 6 or 7 weeks, which was 3 weeks after I could have reapplied, because I wanted that month to mount up so that when the AI, and don't kid yourself, it is all AI, there's no human looking at your issue. When it came back to check, it went, oh, okay. So all of the top videos for the month are his. Okay? So set those to private if you think at all it could be causing the problem. Now I'll go on to the second half of the video, which seems to be what most people are getting when they initially ask for an appeal. Forget about doing a video appeal. That's beta. I'm not even sure how the AI works it. You may as well just appeal through typing it in. But like a lot of people, it was reviewed again by AI, and it comes up with videos are not representative of your channel. In other words, we don't know what your channel's about. And this is where it becomes involved, especially for people like me that have a mixture of things. And now anyone that's been with me for a while has heard me say this time and time again. The best way to have a YouTube channel is one genre only, just one type of video. Maybe you can have two, not a whole mix like me. And this is where I came unstuck. And my channel really took a dive for the time that I wasn't monetized. Because as I found out, and there's no qualms about it, YouTube does not put out your videos if you're not monetized. It's not in their best interest. Now, when I spoke to Alan, he suggested for the next 30 days or 30 videos, I talk about anything to show that I'm primarily a vlogging channel, which is, you know, if I have to call myself one thing, that's what it is. And that's what I did. I did my daily vlogs, or sometimes not every day, but I've accrued about 30 videos before I reapplied. That's step one. So that on both ends of the scale, the AI comes back when you reapply. It looks at your most recent videos, which is why I did the 30 days of content, pretty well all the same genre. And it also looks at your most highest watched videos for the previous month. Both ends of the scale. It doesn't scan through all of your videos. Even though, of course, I was hyper paranoid and went through all of my videos, 950 odd, and any of them I had a remote doubt about, I set them to private. I didn't delete them. So that was one nail in my toolbox. If you get enough nails, I figure you can build a house. I won't say screws. The other thing I did, or one of many, I literally rehashed if you go to the top of your channel where it says about, what your channel's about, I rehashed at least 30 times the wording, so I could incorporate that this is primarily a vlogging channel. In my case, your case will be different. Whatever your case, you need that wording to say exactly what sort of channel you are. In my case, I rehashed it over and over and over. I actually enlisted the assistance of ChatGPT and put it to it. You know, what would YouTube recognize this channel as being? And of course it initially says it doesn't know the algorithm of YouTube, but I'd rehash it and rehash it to the point that I have now in my description. And then I came back to ChatGPT. I said, is it likely that YouTube would recognize this as a vlogging channel? And it said yes, it would. It probably would. Okay, another nail in my toolbox. And then before I reapplied, I went to YouTube Studio, I selected the box, selected all videos, and I made the category of all of my videos, no matter what I would normally put them as different science and technology, pets and animals. I made them all vlogs. That's another nail in my toolbox. Hello, Magpie. Oh, Kookaburra sitting over my shoulder here. Can you see him? I didn't even realise that. He's not CGI. Fantastic. Hello. Well, there you go. I digress, but I have an accomplice. Anyway, focus on me for a sec. So that was another nail in my toolbox. Two other things I did to try and help my cause, which I've since changed back, again to help the AI try and understand what my channel is, was temporarily change my channel name to Steve Mac Vlogs. I also changed temporarily my photograph of a picture of me vlogging holding a phone to try and help the AI recognize the type of channel I primarily am. Then the final thing I did was make a new channel trailer. And what I did was a pretty boring one because I've made a lot. I basically said, as any of you that have seen it know, exactly what the wording of the about description was. One more thing I did that I forgot to mention in the main filming of this is through my paranoia, because YouTube mentions a few times other platforms. I had a couple of clips that were originally on YouTube, but I put on Instagram and TikTok. I never upload videos to Facebook. So just out of paranoia, and you probably don't need to do this, I deleted those off those platforms. And then finally, once I'd gone through all my videos, some of my videos I thought, okay, reused content. Yes, I've made a few channel trailers. I changed the description, so whether it's, I put the year of that one, I don't know. Bumpy the Magpie's here as well. And so that's all I could do. Once the channel trailer was up, I'd done all the videos, the new ones that basically show the type of channel I am. I'd let the highest ranking videos only be the ones that I had made myself. I submitted. And of course it says can take up to 30 days to be approved. Well, 2 days later, I happened to go to my YouTube studio, my monetization was back. And you know, I never got an email from YouTube saying, congratulations, you've been remonetized. So there we go. So if you do all of those things, be very honest with yourself. All of your content. I did it anyway, probably didn't have to, but just to be sure, anything that I was in the slightest doubt about, I made private. I didn't delete anything. That's how it worked for me. And if you follow those basic steps, I guarantee you this will work. And if it doesn't, and you've tried it, come back to me, and if I can, I'll have a look at your channel and make suggestions. So I hope I've truncated that enough for you, with helicopters and birds here, literally there, weird. I will always try and help people rather than hinder them. So if that has helped, maybe you can help me back, because my channel really took a dive. So yeah, hit subscribe, hit like, share this with other people that you know are suffering the same problem. That's all I did. It was a stressful time for sure. It was a depressing time, but it worked first go. And if you do, of course, get remonetized, it's up to you. If you want to unprivate some of those, bastard things flatten. Cheers.